Welcome to the AI Kids Storytime. I'm excited to share today's story, The Tale of Mr. Jeremy Fisher. Let's jump right in. Once upon a time, there was a little frog named Mr. Jeremy Fisher. He lived in a cozy house by a beautiful pond, surrounded by tall grass and colorful flowers. Mr. Jeremy loved to fish, and one sunny morning, he decided to go out on his little boat to catch some fish for his supper. He packed a picnic basket with a few tasty things, and off he went, singing a happy little song as he paddled out onto the pond. As he sat quietly in his boat, he cast his fishing line into the water. He waited and waited, but the fish just didn't seem to be biting. But Mr. Jeremy Fisher was patient. He watched the dragonflies dance over the water and listened to the birds chirping in the trees. Suddenly, he felt a tug on his line. "Oh, at last," he exclaimed, excitedly reeling it in. What do you think he caught? To his surprise, it wasn't a fish at all. It was a large, very grumpy-looking trout. The trout thrashed about and splashed water everywhere. Mr. Jeremy Fisher quickly let go of his line and said, "Oh dear, I didn't mean to bother you," but the trout didn't listen. Instead, the trout splashed Mr. Jeremy's boat, causing it to tip a little. Mr. Jeremy was startled but laughed it off. He decided that fishing wasn't going very well, so he packed up his things and thought it would be fun to take a little swim instead. But just as he was about to jump in, he noticed something sparkling beneath the water. Curiosity got the better of him. He leaned over to take a closer look and splash. He slipped right into the water with a big splash. Mr. Jeremy Fisher paddled around, surprised but having so much fun. He saw fish swimming all around him, shimmering like jewels. He swam and swam, exploring all the wonderful underwater treasures. He even met a friendly little fish who waved hello. After playing for a while, Mr. Jeremy decided it was time to head back home. He climbed back into his boat, dripping wet but very happy. As he rowed back, he thought about how fishing had turned into a swimming adventure. Sometimes, unexpected things can lead to the most fun. When he finally reached home, he had a big smile on his face. That night, as he sat down for supper, he had a lovely story to tell. And from that day on, Mr. Jeremy Fisher knew that whether he was fishing or swimming, every adventure was worth a try. And that, my friends, is the delightful tale of Mr. Jeremy Fisher. Remember, sometimes the best stories come from the adventures we least expect.